Hi guys, we have 2013 Mercedes C250, and what's happening is when you turn the key on, it won't crank. So you see, you go to first position. The car is recognizing the key because you see the lights are on. It's unlocking the car, but it will not turn, or it won't go into first position or second to start the car. So I checked the fuses. Everything is fine. The front SAM right there on the left side. First thing is to check for water. There's no water. There are no blown fuses. I checked the battery and all this stuff. Everything seems fine. So because we've had problems with these ignition switches before going bad, I wish that this car would give me electricity so I can check with the scanner, but it's not doing it. So I'm gonna go directly to the ignition switch to take it out, because there's a common problem with these switches going bad inside with cold solders disconnecting from the plate, the electrical plate, from moving the key all these times when you start the car and this and that. So the car has like 130,000 miles. So what I'm doing first to get to this ignition switch is you have to pull this trim here, and you pull it by just getting a screwdriver underneath, or like a pry bar, like a plastic little pry tool. You don't need to take it off, you just need to open it, because this bottom part on this dashboard is connected behind this trim, and it's kind of like the previous S-classes, how everything comes out. The bottom part is first, and then you pull down on the upper part. You just pry it a little bit inside here, and then you pull it down. And then the next thing is, because this thing right here, I saw some instructions that I need to take the steering wheel out, which I'm not going to do that, and possibly the cluster, but I want to see if I can get a closer look of this. And as I can see, I cannot get here to this ignition switch from the top where the cluster is. Doesn't make sense for me to pull it. So this is the important piece right now. You just pull it back, and you pull the steering wheel all the way towards inside the car and down, because this is where the ignition switch is. And I'm trying to show it to you. It's right here. That's where it sits. So from what I see, it looks like I may be able to get it through this hole here. And the way you disconnect it is they use a special tool to get in here, kind of twist it, but I'm going to use a long pair of pliers to get it in and just kind of disconnect this ring to twist it counterclockwise. So I just grabbed these long pliers, and I taped up the front ends, and there's a specific place where you can actually put it. There's like a empty notches. In this case it's like right here and right here, because you can use this actually to twist it to the left sometimes these are hard to start, sometimes they're easy. You just gotta see how it's gonna work. But you get it in and then you start it like this, and as you can see, it's actually moving to the left, so it's loose. And then you can try to just twist it around with a screwdriver, and this is it. That's how it comes out. It just has these 4 teeth that screw into the ignition switch. Okay, remember, this is just to kind of hold it to the dashboard, so that's not what this thing is held in the dash. I believe he had some bolts in the back. So on the GLs you have to get through the radio, so I'm thinking that this side here is not going to help me, because I just don't have enough room here to do anything with this. I can't even see what's going on. So I'm thinking I'm gonna need to get into this through the radio, just like on the GLs, unfortunately, because there's more room right here, more space right behind it. So just pull this trim all the way back out, kind of carefully, and you have this electrical connector here, and you need to disconnect it. And this opens, yeah, this opens the whole space. I think that's what we're gonna need. That's what's going to need to happen. We need to take this out. What I see here is these Torx. It looks like T250. So I'm gonna take them out first. So these bolts actually are T20, not 25. They sit a little bit of an angle, but that's fine. They'll still come out. So guys, when you take this, when you're unscrewing this bolt, it'll come up and you can push it down, because supposedly you're supposed to push down whatever's holding this bolt in order to release the radio. So this bolt should come out once it's released. I got the right side out and this one is out too. It has a little bit of Loctite at the end. Once you take this out, because I already pushed on the actual bolt when it started to come up, I just pushed it down to release. So this is what's going to release the radio out, and you just need to take the radio out and be careful with this thing here. Okay guys, I tried to get through the radio space, and as you can see, I am not able to go through there, and no success here, no success here. So the only space is down, like up here, And then I thought about going underneath, because from the instructions online from our program, what I saw is that you have to take the steering wheel out in order to take this piece out. I thought it was a two separate piece, but it's not. It's one piece. This is one piece, and this is stuck to the rear piece. So I actually pulled the steering wheel up, and this thing basically is clipped inside the space. There are two wires that I managed to pull out from back here. They're not that hard to pull, a little bit hard, but not that much. And then you press on this until it unclips, because it's held by I think like a little couple teeth right here, and probably something else here. And I just pushed it and it came off. There's a wire here. Apparently I think this is just gonna release. Like there's, okay, I see two tabs in the back here and here, so I'm gonna press on those to release this. Oh, it needs to pull, it needs to push, it needs to push actually forward, and then it comes out. So it has this weird tooth. I think it's a wired connection or something. I believe it's, yeah, it's like a wire. So you have to just be careful not to break this. I'm sure it's going to be some kind of expensive, crazy expensive part, and I cannot imagine how you can replace it. So this is the ignition switch, and what I need to do is I need to open this, so the two screws, then these notches to get into the plate and check the plate. Okay, this is back together. Don't forget to put the two T15 torque screws, and I'm gonna put it back in the car. So remember, this was moved forward, so you need to put it inside the slot, and then you need to push the whole thing back. And it looks like it just goes in these little slots backwards with these the flat pins here. There we go. And it clips all the way in. And now a big job is, this was on the top, and we have these two little wires here, the inside, the bottom, the white, and then the other one with the multiple legs that's on the top. So you have to just slide it in, and you gotta make sure that It clips back in the hole, and you have to go from underneath again and push it in the hole. This is the sensor for the AC. The sensor goes in this little tiny vent or mesh. I don't know why it came out, but it needs to go back in. And you just gotta clip it back in into the slot, and then you have to feel the wires by hand. So the multiple one is on the top. I got the multiple one in, and I'm left with the one on the bottom with the two legs. It's a little bit toward the left side, and it clicks in. Okay, we can actually even try right now and see if this helped at all. Nope, this is not the problem. Okay, you put this ring back in, then you twist it by hand until it turns, and when it stops you can help yourself with the pliers again. Just twist it inside the empty space and until it actually locks up. It'll lock up at some point, and then you stop. And even though we didn't fix the problem here, this is a procedure to actually how to replace this ignition switch. So again, you just go through here, and that's how you replace it. This goes back in. Make sure it clips in the right spot, and you just push it back in. This is the way it goes. And then the next thing would be the top part of the dash. And as you can see, it has to go first. The further part goes first, and then it goes all the way in, and then it kind of clips. This is how you clip it. And then you install this bottom parts next. Remember, this part here goes last. Actually, before I install this, I need to put the bolts back into the frame of the radio, because I took it off trying to find a way to take the ignition switch out. So we need to install the bolts first, and they go into those little holes right here. They fit it actually in like an aluminum little frame, so it's advisable to start these bolts by hand. And what happens is, afterwards, when you start tightening the bolts, it's like a lock aluminum frame that's going to end up going up. That's why even when you start these bolts, you can actually pull on this, and this is what's it's actually pulling the frame lock upwards. So you need to get these tight. Once you install these bolts holding the radio, next step is this thing right here. And it slides in. It has these clips here, so make sure it slides in the space it's supposed to go. This is clipped, everything is clipped tight. Okay, and the last thing is the trim piece. What I saw is that actually this is what's holding the whole thing in, so I kind of pulled it sideways on the right side first, and this thing came out. It looks like it pushed out these out, and I think you have to do it with a hook tool on the inside to kind of get in a hook tool and kind of twist it in order to open it. So you have to get in through here, and when you get to the place, you have to actually go around and try to pry this out so it actually opens. In this case, this is pushed a little bit outward, so it won't help right now, but when it's in the car, it's gonna be closed. Anyway, that's the way you should try to open it. We need to install this blue connection. It's just simple click, and you align it to go inside. And then you just press it, and it's ready to go. So this was it. Again, 2013 C250 Mercedes. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.